heaven!
Hello and welcome to Who Is Best, a show where I desperately research games for the approval of a few thousand of you. 7,000 to be exact. Thanks for the sub. I mean, a show where I look at and take games that give you choices and rate those choices in a tier list. And if you pity a fool and his obscenely stupid jokes, then hit that subscribe button and bell for notifications. Elden Ring took 2022 by storm. It's an amazing tale watching From Software, creators of games like Armored Core, Evergrace, Kingsfield, and of course the Dark Souls trilogy, to go from obscure Japanese developer to this. After playing Elden Ring upon launch, I loved it. All the spirit of their previous titles were there with an open world twist. Is Bloodborne still better? Yes! Elden Ring is an experience. The best part of these games is that everyone's experience will be different. Character builds highly affect which bosses you'll struggle against, or what loot will be relevant to your playthrough. And one of the first choices you'll make on this journey is your starting class. There are 10 starting classes in Elden Ring, and each come with inherent advantages and disadvantages to your playthrough. No, your starting class isn't the most important decision you make, but it is one that will shape your entire playthrough, so I felt that this warranted a list. Now, I want to make a disclaimer. The Souls-like games are highly subjective. Stats, weapons, and armor account for a very small portion of what makes you strong in this game. Player ability is incredibly important. I'm going to approach this with as objective a look as possible, but it is impossible to not be subjective as well. Oh, and stick around till the end for some of the best builds as well as a bonus list. So keep the comments kosher and let's get started with the tier. The Wretch starts with no armor, a basic club, and level 1 stats. This class is built to make the game more difficult. The trade-off is that you can build the Wretch into anything you would like. Loot in the early game can be more easily adapted to as you have free range to build up your stats however you want. And upon respec in the late game, you'll also have more free range to change around your stats where you want them. If you're looking for the ultimate challenge, start here. The low tier. The Prophet is a no bullcrap faith build. There is absolutely no physical ability here, which makes things difficult as you work to gather the right spells and equipment to fit its build. The main draw to the Prophet is for summoning spirits, as many of those are faith dependent. So if you want to have some high level summons assist you in your journey, pick this class. Next is the Bandit. The Bandit takes advantage of the new to the series stealth build. This is a satisfying build when it works. The rush of sneaking up to an enemy and surprising them with deadly results can't be understated. But here's the real kicker. Those stealth moves just don't work against aggressive bosses. And there are a lot of aggressive bosses in Elden Ring. The mid-tier. The Prisoner is an all-around class built to let you choose between a magic or dexterity-based build, or both. They come with a staff, sword, and shield. The real issue lies in the low endurance and vigor stats, which makes the Prisoner incredibly squishy. The Hero is a class built for the basic strength user. With this class, you'll have the opposite problem as the Prisoner. You'll be a walking tank with high defense and health, but lack options, especially in the early game. You'll be held to a strict physical build until you can pour some stats in other areas. The Warrior is a dexterity build's dream with the highest of that stat of all the beginning classes. They also come equipped with 2 scimitars, giving you access to dual-wielding weapons very early on. The Warrior favors an aggressive playstyle as you will lack in defensive abilities, and mastering the playstyle can be tricky. But if done right, this class can give your game a massive boost. Of all the hybrid classes, meaning classes that as you progress give you more options, the Confessor is the best. It comes with both attack and magic potential. Because of this, it also becomes a middling class, and no matter what build you choose, its base stats will still be somewhere you probably won't use, especially when it comes to its dexterity and strength stats. The top tier. The Samurai class is one of the best starting options in Elden Ring. Not only does it start with a high amount of dexterity, endurance, and vigor, but it's equipped with the best starting weapon in the game. The Uchigatana is no stranger to the Souls series, and being able to wield this weapon can be useful even in the endgame, so it's no joke. On top of that, you have a bow and fire arrows right from the start. If you're wanting to explore heavy magic, you'll have to put forward the investment into faith and intelligence. But if you're looking to make a deadly bleed dexterity build, which happens to be one of the better builds in Elden Ring, look no further. The God tier. The Vagabond is the single best class for beginners and also stands as one of the best starting points for veterans as well. Gaining armor, a heavy shield, and a long sword at the beginning, with some of the best physical stat point distribution in the game and incredible versatility if you take out magic, there is just no better jumping point. The final member of the God tier and last class on this list is the Astrologer. When Elden Ring first came out, the potential of the Astrologer wasn't fully realized. But after you've seen the devastation of Comet Azure, you will never make that mistake again. This class starts with decent points in magic and physical, with all the equipment you'll need to start building your magic warrior right away. Now, as for best endgame builds, there are two specifically you should focus on. The first, and my personal favorite, is the Bleed build. This is also called the Blood Samurai, Vampire build, Rivers of Blood build, the list goes on. It focused on stacking Bleed stat, which will increase your damage the more attacks land. For this build, you'll want to start with a class like the Samurai. It's mainly built around the late game katana, Rivers of Blood, and with the right talismans and supporting weapons, you can dispatch even the hardest bosses in seconds. The final build is the straight up magic build. Building your entire character around a single spell like Comet Azure can result in short boss fights where you kill them before their additional phases, as well as a feeling of godhood. The main incantations you want to keep your eye out for are Rani's Dark Moon, Comet Azure, and any of the Glintstone spells. And that's my list. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm assuming that if they release an Elden Ring DLC, that much of this list might become outdated. But while it lasts, please like, share, and subscribe. Bonus round. Top 10 Elden Ring bosses. And I'll probably slaughter these names. Number 10, Mohg, Lord of Blood. Number 9, Margit, the Fell Omen. Number 8, Dragon Lord Placidusax. Number 7, Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree. Number 6, Rykarg, Lord of Blasphemy. Number 5, Godric the Grafted. Number 4, General Radahn. Number 3, Malekith the Black Blade. Number 2, Margot the Omen King. And number 1, Melania, Blade of Mikola.